body weight first. So what I'm going to have her do is I'm going to have her do a lunge. So she's had some knee things, and so lunging is it's generally okay. I think lunging is generally okay. Sometimes when she gets heavy loads and stuff like that, some things will pop up. So go ahead and do a lunge on the right side. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and muscle test her here. Now I want her to look at the camera. Ready, hold. And she goes weak. Now remember that was strong before. Okay, so that's a cerebellum. That's movement. When we did the movement, we got some sort of change. That will be a global change. She might be back now. If I look at the camera, she is back to normal. I'm going to have her do the lunge again, and this time I'm going to go ahead and test the other shoulder, because when I say global, what that means is any muscle, if there was a problem in that movement, can go temporarily weak. So go ahead and do the lunge again for me. Good. So I'm going to go ahead and test this side. Ready? Hold. And that side's weak also. Okay. So now that's the right side. Let's go ahead and do the left side. So let's do a left-sided lunge. Okay, and I have my suspicions. Think about your arm. Ready, hold. Okay, and it's still there, at least that way. Okay, so I'm going to have her think, excuse me, think about the lunge a little different. We're going to do something called bone rhythm. What bone rhythm is it's a orientation between the knee and the hip. So when she steps out, she's going to go knee forward and hip down in a nice rhythm and back. So there's a nice fluid rhythm between the knee and the hip before she pushes back. And so it's a little bit conscious, but this is a way to teach movement. So go ahead and do the right leg again. Okay, and I'll go back to here. Okay, so think about your arm. Ready, go. And she's strong. The rhythm changed. In this case, I'm suspecting, based on some testing I've done with her knee kind of coordination. So there's certain things that move around in the knee, and there's a timing involved in that. If I change the timing between the hip and the knee a little bit and make it more coordinated, she gets a better response. She has to think about it, and that's the problem. So let's go ahead and do the other side. Okay. So was that rhythm or no rhythm? That was no rhythm, yes. And so think about your arm. Ready? That was no rhythm. Okay. So I'm going to have her think about the bone rhythm on the left side. Let's see if we get the same result. So she steps out. Good. Okay, and hold. Good. So she was thinking about her arm. Ready, hold. And it's strong. Now, it's strong everywhere. Ready, hold. Good. And that will wear off because it was an input that doesn't stick. Okay, hold. And think about your arm. Hold. And it's gone. The key is to make it non-conscious. I don't want to have to think about all my movements and all my lunges. Okay, so right now she can think about it and it's good. But there's going to be a point where there's too much going on in movement. You can't think about everything. So there's ways to go ahead and reset that. And what I would do in this case is I would hold. I'm going to find out what the problem is. Okay, so right now I'm going to go ahead and hold. Okay, hold here. So it's not that. Okay, so I found a spot based on kind of some sensory input like I did earlier that I think is part of the problem. So I'm going to go, hold on. I'm going to do a little fix here if I can. Okay, so next. All right, so I'm going to have her think about her arm. Hold. Okay, hold. Okay, so she thinks about her arm. Ready, hold. Okay, we're good. So that's different already. Lock the elbow, hold. Good, so she's locking up. I did a reset of the receptors, so the whole pathway's changed a little bit. Okay, hold. And she's strong. What matters though is can she do the lunge and does it stick around? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and have you do the lunge on the right side, which is the side I've worked on. Now, was that conscious or unconscious? I mean, meaning, did you think about bone rhythm or not? Not really. Okay, so let's test it. Okay, hold. It's still strong. Think about the arm. Hold. Still strong. Think about the arm. Strong. In fact, I'm going to have you kind of do it messy. No bone rhythm. No. I want the other leg though. So there you go. Okay, so that's not thinking about it at all. Okay, think about your arm. Ready, hold. And she's still strong. It doesn't matter what I test. She's still strong. Basically, by stimulating certain parts of the joint to reorganize and recoordinate them, I can take it away from her consciously having to think about the bone rhythm and then it going away after the fact. We don't want that to happen. Number one, we don't want her to think about it all the time, and we don't want it to go away. So by resetting some of the receptors, we get more of a permanent fix, and we don't have to have her think about it. In fact, I had her do it kind of messy on purpose. What I don't know is that was one side. Sometimes there's a carryover. Let's have you do, I'll call it a sloppy lunge on the left side. Go ahead. Okay, so, all right, let's check this out. So think about the arm. Ready, go. Okay, so that's stuck to that side too. Hold. So there's a good chance that even when she was lunging on the right side and then she went to the left side, that the lunge on the left side actually was still doing something to the right knee. So whatever's going on in there now has had kind of a global effect. I could retest some other stuff that I tested before just to kind of see. This bicep was hypertonic and wouldn't go weak, so let me see how that's doing. I'm going to shorten the muscle and retest hold. And it weakens. So that's normal response. Before I couldn't get it to weaken, and so that bicep is more normalized in its tone. I think the rest of the stuff that we did was on the table, so then lay down. Now we're relying on me to remember. Okay, so this was weak in the clear, I believe. Okay, ready? Hold. And strong, and it goes weak. Okay, so I think this hamstring was weak in the clear too, wasn't it? Yeah, so ready? And hold. And he's strong. Ready? Hold. And it's strong. Now if I make it weak, ready? Hold. It weakens. So these have normalized in their tone. What else was there something else that was... Oh, I did this one. He was strong and he weakened. Ready? Hold. But when I tapped it, he went weak and he shouldn't have. Hold. And he doesn't. So that's normal. Before it was sensitive and that input was enough to make the system kind of go and break down a little.